to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Well, hello. Welcome, everybody, to the Detroit Cast with Mike and Jay. Shalom, Big E. I was hoping you guys wouldn't mind if I joined you today.
No, that's fine. Yeah,
sure?
Sit on in.
I'll allow it.
All right. E, do you mind if I sit in your seat, too? I'm more
You're going to get the
comfortable here.
sniffles. I'm going to warn you. You're going to get the sniffles.
I already have them. Oh, it's good to be back. How are you guys doing?
Very well. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Could I start off by saying happy anniversary?
Oh,
Congratulations to
thank
you and Gab.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that picture.
Gabrielle and I wed 20 years ago.
That is unbelievable.
I know.
Dude, you guys look the same. I'm
Oh,
serious. I know everybody
oh,
says
thank you.
that.
Thank you, Mike.
Everybody says that shit. Oh, you guys look the same. And usually they're lying because most people have packed on 40 pounds in 20
I'm
years.
figuring you're probably lying right now.
I'm
as you
not,
say it.
dude.
Oh.
I'm not.
This is gonna sound-
Gab is as hot today as she was then, and you are as hot today as you were
whoa,
then.
Whoa.
I mean,
This
I'm
might
saying.
blushing.
This might sound gay, but I think
Probably.
Jay, I think you look better now than you did in your wedding photo. More distinguished. I think the little
Yeah.
age
Little
actually-
bit
I
of
think
gray
it
helps.
suits you better.
Yeah. Well,
dude.
thank you. Wow. I didn't expect this, guys.
you didn't expect such gay compliments right
didn't.
out of the gate,
I don't know
did
what
you?
to do with this.
And I usually make fun of Mike when he says that to you. So I think you should know that means something if I'm saying it.
Yeah.
you know?
Is this why you're as shorn as you are again? Because I'm troubled by this, Jay. This is the third day in a row that I've noticed it appears that
No.
you have shorn yourself. I don't want to see you're over grooming, but I'm
I don't know. I'm just trying to keep up with it this week. I don't know, man.
But Jay, you had to do this at the firm. This is something you had to. This was part of the torture. Was every day you had to shorn yourself, and it had to be a certain way. And it's
Shear
like
myself.
Shear yourself. Thank you. And now I see you doing it. It's like, dude, know where you are.
Changing it up, man.
Okay, all right. Then mustachio yourself.
Okay.
Change it up
maybe
that
I will.
way.
Maybe I will.
God, man. Yeah, happy anniversary though. That's
Thank you.
really cool. Most couples don't last 2 years, and here you guys have lasted 20.
Yeah,
and,
it's been fun. It's been fun.
I can think back to your wedding day. That was fun as hell.
Is it true? I heard a rumor through Deuced
Oh boy.
that my mom took
Yes.
you guys aside and warned you in no uncertain terms.
Wait, what?
I had no idea this happened until
yeah.
yesterday. I shot Deuced a picture of him, and as one of the groomsmen. I was like, dude, can you believe it's been 20 years? He's like, yeah. And we got onto my mom scolding him.
Gross.
I'm like, wait a second, man.
Yeah.
Wait, she took you aside and told you to mind your P's and Q's? He's like, oh, yeah.
At
yeah.
the wedding or?
Yes.
Oh,
Throughout
yeah.
the process, I guess.
Oh yeah.
What did she do, man?
Well, this goes back 20 years. He's 100% right, and it was one of those like your mom knew us so well, and if you know Jay's mom,
Well, she'd
mom,
known Deuce since he was 4 or 5.
Right,
you know?
right.
She knew you in your formative years of
She knew me
14,
as-
15, 16.
she's the origin of Mike Webster.
Yeah.
No, that was not Mike on the news. It was Mike Webster.
Mike
Clearly
Webster.
said it right there on the
Mike Webster.
It's Mike Webster. She was convinced I was going to be an actor.
Yeah.
But
She
Cheryl.
saw show business in your future.
Cheryl was an interesting. I love your mom. I always loved your mom.
Very nice
Not in a
woman.
sexual way at all. Not like that at all. I never looked at her like that. I want to make that very clear. I always found your mom really funny because your mom was a nurse for so long. She was so used to seeing people whining about dumb shit
Yeah.
that she was just like, oh. The
Oh,
bone's,
stop it,
The
you know?
bone's not even sticking through your shin, asshole. Spit on it.
Right.
She was one of those moms.
Yeah, she wasn't a real like touchy-feely, come here, give
Huggy.
me, yeah, I'll give you a
yeah,
hug,
yeah.
mom.
Let
So
me kiss it for you.
it's
Kiss your
probably
boo-boo.
in large part why I am how I am.
I was going to say that, but then I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that to him. It was his anniversary yesterday. I was just going to let that sit. But yes, I would
have
agree with
mommy issues. Maybe.
that. But your mom, there's a beautiful wedding planned. All the detail has gone in. Family has flown in from everywhere. And you guys got married rather young. Not young, but
25,
Yeah.
24.
So my parents got married, but people get married later now. And then you were like one of the first of our buddies to get married,
Right.
though. And so it was like, hey guys, when he walked in, and it was like Dano, Dan Dreyer,
It was here's my party. My groomsmen
Yeah.
included Chet, my brother.
Yep.
I had my cousin Brian.
I remember. Son of a bitch wrestler.
I had Vincent Piorsini.
Yes, Vincent, of course.
I had Miguel. I had Deuced, and I had
Dreyer was there,
Dreyer.
right?
Yep.
Dan Dreyer. Okay. I don't know that she bothered with Chet. Not sure that she bothered with Vincent Piorsini.
Nope. No need to.
Probably not Brian. Now, the meeting I remember taking place definitely involved Dan Dreyer.
Dreyer,
me,
and Deuce.
and
Yeah, that
Deuce.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that would be the meeting I would have to.
And it was like, hey, guys, welcome. Thank you. Guys look great. You just look fantastic.
Happy you could take part in this event.
Thank you for getting tuxedos and tucking your shirts in and showing up on the day you're supposed to.
Look somewhat
on
shorn.
time. Yeah, you guys look great. Can I just really quick have a word? I was like, yeah. I'm thinking like, oh, we're getting gifts or something. You know, she's going to give us like,
Yeah,
some-
you're right. Like a
some
wedding, like
special flask with our name on it or something.
No,
And it's
you're
like-
going to get a stern talking to is what you're going to get.
Instead
Did
of
she
like-
then grit her teeth? Did she do this?
Instead, I was like, now you sons of bitches fucking listen to me, all right? This day has cost us a fortune. And I do not need any one of you knuckleheads fucking this up. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was like, what?
What?
This
I'm
day,
offended.
I laughed in your mom's face. I swear to God, I thought she was kidding. It's like, this is not a joke.
Yeah.
This means a lot to Gab and her family and Jay and his family. I know how important you are to them. We're very glad you're here. However, you are not going to fuck this wedding up. I don't know what you have planned, but I wouldn't put anything past you guys.
Oh my God, I had no idea she
Dude,
did this till yesterday.
It was hilarious. And it was like, okay, now you listen to me, Cheryl. I understand you feel this is an important day for Jay and Gab, but do you have any fucking clue how important this day is to me and Dano?
What an opportunity
And-
this is.
This is our opportunity,
Yeah.
okay? This day is just as important and meaningful to us as it is to those
Yeah.
two.
We can
Get
give speeches in front of hundreds.
Selfish of you to be worrying about your son and daughter-in-law right now. Selfish. It was so funny.
So did that actually tamp down any planned?
Fuck no.
Behavior?
Shit, no. It only ramped us up.
All right.
I mean, because you guys made the critical mistake. I mean,
Backfired.
you guys made the critical mistake of being. It might have been the first one I'd seen. It probably happened all the time, and we've talked about this before, where people would put their little cameras.
Table cameras.
Table cameras.
Table cameras.
Yeah.
Now, this is back in the day. Let's set it up here. It's 1998. It's before digital photography is
Sure.
prevalent. And so you're still getting those little disposable cameras that
Those
you
little Kodak.
take on trips. Or if I lose it, I lose it. It's
Yeah.
just it's filled with 30 pictures or whatever.
It's a very
just loaded with
whoever
one set of film.
invented that idea. It's
great.
a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
If you think about it, you got 30 tables, throw one in each table, and let people snap what
You
they
could
want.
even get them customized. I think they had like our name and date
Oh, I'm
and everything.
sure.
on
Because
there.
it was just
yeah.
paper
It was a
kind of on the
special day.
outside.
Special day. Why wouldn't they? But what the inventor of this genius move did not anticipate and was not forward thinking enough was like, oh, there's probably going to be assholes at weddings too.
Yeah.
And they might take advantage of this situation.
Of
and
free photos that you can take that are completely, who knows who these are. It can just be
Right.
anybody.
You just take them and get them
Yeah.
developed, and
you know,
it's
it's very hard to identify a random ball. It just is. You know what I mean? Like, whose ball is this? I want answers.
without.
Well, and if you want to identify it, that means you have to
you have to
ask
line them up.
people.
You got to have a true lineup at that
Yeah.
point, and
But you
nobody
can-
wants to do that.
You can shear them. You can, there's a lot of things. Balls act weird at different times of the day. You know what I mean? Sometimes they hang
You
low.
can disguise them.
Sometimes they look like raisins. You just hop in a pool really quick and go, yeah, no, it's not mine. Clearly, it's not mine. Those things are huge compared to mine. So I don't know. In the end, I think you guys had a photographer, maybe even a videographer. I think I remember giving a statement to a videographer.
We had a guy. we had a dude who was a friend. See, this opens up a whole nother thing.
Oh boy.
Gab's
okay.
brother worked for a Japanese company, and he's always, dude, he's always worked for Japanese companies, and he's done quite well because he's been very knowledgeable of the culture, very accepting of the culture. He has a ton of Japanese friends.
Me as well. I worked at Nippon Express.
He
as
calls
you
them
remember.
generally the Japanese. It'll be like, yeah, we're having a party next month. The Japanese will be there.
Yeah.
You guys should come.
Oh, the whole country? I mean,
But one of the Japanese,
My grandpa called them the Japs.
per the stereotype, love to film shit.
What?
Yeah, so I know.
that's rare.
That's crazy, isn't it?
They have the
so
thing
he's like
strapped around his
I,
neck.
as wedding gift, will video your wedding.
his wedding
And
gift.
so we're like, fuck, we're trying to save money, So we're like, sure, let's have Makoto do it.
Sure.
So Makoto, what we didn't realize, was going to film the whole day. He filmed himself driving, like, to the ceremony. I swear to God, he put the shit. We've got dash cam video of Makoto driving
I
to the
see
wedding.
That.
It's
the
fucking
wedding.
insane. We have like
So
six.
it's like 20 hours.
We have 6 like VHS videotapes of our wedding day.
Okay, Makoto needs an editor.
I know.
Period.
So the fact that he interviewed you, that doesn't surprise me at all.
I
you
for
don't
some,
remember? Yes, very good.
Would you like to say something to the New Reds? And I'm like, yeah, fuck them both, you know. Who knows what I said? I vaguely remember, I swear to God, just being lightly buzzed and walking away from this Japanese gentleman going, yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that.
Ooh.
Probably shouldn't
You know
have
what?
said that.
Nobody's watched that video.
Okay, good.
That video is sat in a box.
Let's keep it that way.
But
But here's what I remember, to cut you off, E.
it's all right.
There were a lot of tables. I don't know, 20, 30 tables.
I don't remember,
Which
but
meant
sure.
20, 30 cameras. And it just doesn't seem like there were that many pictures that made it out.
I think salvageable. There was probably about 35 to 40 total table cam pictures that made it.
So think about that. What's the
just-
25
Dude,
per roll?
here's the
it's
problem.
just unforgivable. I'm sorry, it is.
My poor mother-in-law. So this wasn't Cheryl who got these developed.
Oh, I
This
like
was-
her, too.
This was
She's a
my
nice
mother-in-law,
woman, yeah.
Marge. She takes these things all excited. Oh, we'll go get them developed, and we'll have this whole set of wedding pictures. And
Have a reveal party, possibly.
totally, it was almost like that. It was like, Jay and Gab, come on over and let's look at the pictures.
See, I thought you were going to get them developed.
And she
I'm sorry.
got them and just kind of slid them across the table. And we're like, oh, was there not more? And she's like, there were no more. There were no more.
Did you immediately go, those sons of bitches?
Yeah, I
Did
kinda-
you know? You're a smart guy.
Yes, I totally fucking knew. I'm like, dude, she takes in 30 rolls and we have 35 to 40 pictures. Fuck. That's a lot of balls and ass cracks.
And there's, how weird is it that none of my friends took any pictures?
I know. It's all
Any.
like Uncle John and Aunt Gwen.
Yeah, it's,
you know?
it's aunts and uncles I haven't seen in 30 years. Wow, that's weird.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and that's
Small price to pay, I guess. You know,
Well,
it's not
it's-
like you guys interrupted the service or something and ran nude down the aisle of the church, right?
yeah.
It could have been worse.
It could have been, but it's tragic to me. Honestly, it is. All these years later, because I vividly remember going into a bathroom at one point with a camera.
Remember spreading your ass
Well,
cheek?
I remember I was way more limber then, and I remember having both legs over my head, and there is a clear, very, very clear, it included butthole, taint, and balls for sure. There's no question about it. And I somehow, you can't check it like you can
Right.
now to make sure your face isn't
So you
in
have to
it.
click like 5 of them, right?
Yeah, well,
click
pro-
and then
click.
click.
But
click.
I remember having my legs up enough and putting my head back, so it was like,
Was Deuce taking it, or did you?
I think I took
Selfie,
it.
huh?
Yeah, I think I selfied it all, and I was pretty sure at least like the head of my dick was covered enough of my face that you wouldn't know it was me. And it's a shame that you can't pull that out and go, yeah, here it is. Here's the picture of a 25-year-old's balls, taint, and butthole
Yeah.
that was in my wedding photos. And once that ball gets rolling, it's like, you know, because if I walk up to Dustin and go, hey, man, you ain't going to believe this, but I just took a picture of my butthole on Jay's camera. He's like, where's the camera? Now it's on.
Yeah,
Now
it's-
it's on. You can convince Nana to get involved in this game if
It's
you
a
play
game
it
of
right.
one-upsmanship at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Well, thank you for remembering that with us yesterday, because it was our, as you said, our 20th anniversary, and that was a special moment.
Yeah.
It actually caused us to sort of kind of remember that with Manny and Russell, although we didn't go into the details of the gory details of what you guys did. But yeah, they took the cameras and messed around with them. And then we got to thinking
they
like
knew.
how nice Marge was in that instance. You know, she just never spoke of
Yeah.
it again. She wasn't
Really?
like, you know what, this is really, we spent a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. She was just nice about it. And then it got me to thinking how nice my father-in-law Paul is.
Yeah,
and listeners
great
will
guy.
remember Paul. Kickstarter award. It was actually episode 203 where Paul appeared. And we went back, Gab and I pulled that up, and it's not available on the website right now. We've got
It
so
costs
much
too
server
much money.
space.
It costs a shitload to hold all those
yeah,
episodes.
like episode, I don't know, 450 and back. You got to go to YouTube for.
Right.
But dude, it's worth a listen. YouTube
It's
episode number
painful.
203. It is so freaking cringy.
Didn't we put it in the 1,000th episode? Because I listened to it recently.
Maybe.
I thought we had Joel throw that in the 1,000th episode because, dude, I listened to it, and I thought I even texted you, like, dude, that is, at the same time, the hardest thing to listen to and the fucking funniest thing to listen to because I've never heard you so uncomfortable. I'm being such a dick. And then you
wanna
got mad at
see
E. You took all your anger at me for being a dick out on E at the end of it. Yes, you do.
As soon as we hung up, I'm like, "You're a fucking asshole."
He's like,
I think I made one
he
comment.
made one like in the
Really?
background comment. You're like, "You fucking piece of shit, E. No respect." And it's like I just made like 1,400 well inappropriate comments.
Well, if I remember correctly, and I didn't listen to the very end of the call, if I remember, E was getting on him about like being an old man can't hear or something. You know, he's making dumb comments like that, whereas you were just churning the shit.
I was trying to make
were
you
like, yes,
uncomfortable.
and you absolutely were. You
Well,
know, where he's going,
nonetheless.
well, where do you broadcast from? You're like, well, my basement.
My basement. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. We'll see if it works,
Who's
dude.
to say who was mean or not?
You know what? That's a
I
good
don't hate him,
point.
but I just don't think he's that good.
That's a good distinction because I was fucking with you, not
Yeah.
Paul,
And he
E
started-
was kind of fucking with Paul.
And I think that was my big worry going in. Like, I do not want you guys fucking with this guy. This guy's a great guy, you know?
He's older.
Yeah.
He's my father-in-law.
I very well could give him a heart attack here, but I didn't. Like this is like so. This is in a nutshell.
you
is
quit
what
your job?
It speaks to his character. Like he heard his son-in-law, the dude that he entrusted his daughter and his now grandkids with, tell him laughingly that he quit his job on a whim, essentially, to go
you
do
left
this
your
stupid
job?
podcast. And then he like accept. Well, you know, I knew you weren't happy, so if this makes you happy, he's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Who couldn't ask for a better father-in-law?
And he
you know?
brings meats and toiletries
Oh,
over. I
well,
mean, the
he
guy's a
brings
prince.
paper products, yeah.
Saint of a man. He's known to bring meats too. Don't
Every
deny
now and
that.
then.
On sale
They're
meats.
usually, you know, manager special, day-old sort of salamis. But yeah,
Better than no salami.
I would agree with you.
Yeah. And yeah, he did handle it well, but it took a long time to get to the point. You know
Where
what I
do
mean?
you broadcast from?
That's what my boys were laughing at too. They're like, "Why are you still talking about the Lions with him? Why don't you
The
just tell him,
backup
dude?"
halfback or whatever. Like, what do you think about this?
It was like a third string tight end or
It's a
something.
tight end, and then we bandied back and forth on whether there was an interception or a fumble and whether it touched the ground. And I'm like, I don't want to tell
cares?
this guy. I don't want.
No one cares. So anyway, Paul. And then it was made so awkward too because it had happened 6 months earlier.
Are you on live right now?
Yep, sure are, Paul.
And he had been emailing me at the firm and stuff, like
Yeah.
you know, political humor and stuff.
It was not good, and it was so
It
fun
was
to
so
hear you
disrespectful for someone to do, and for him to just be like, you know, it's okay.
I remember Gab. I think she was with Sarah Titties listening live,
Just cringing.
and she was texting me like, "Please make this stop. Please make this stop. This is horrible." And she was like, "It's killing." Like it was killing her to listen to you try to get through it, and hearing her dad like trying to figure out what the hell he was hearing.
Yeah.
it is definitely worth a listen. It's hilarious.
If anybody wants to see me very, very nervous, go to YouTube number 203.
is that what is it?
Yeah.
That was the one 203.
Oh.
Yeah, it's definitely worth
Oh.
it.
Hey, you have an annual physical to make sure you're healthy. What do you do each year to make sure that you remain financially fit? Our friend Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial specializes in thoughtful and objective investment guidance designed to keep your finances in shape. Call Mark today, 248-626-2000. Ask for Mark. You won't regret it. He knows what he's doing. He'd love to meet with you.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Do you guys mind if I do a grievance? I don't know if you guys have a grievance at all.
You know, I'm pretty happy, man. You know, it's
Yeah.
my 20th anniversary and
No.
things are going well.
Speaking of which, did you,
Oh, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
went out to dinner?
Yeah. Yep. Definitely went out to dinner.
Good,
Yep.
good.
I figured that's what you're asking.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Anyway. So, oh, good. I'm glad you're in a happy place. E, do you have a grievance? No, yes?
I'm all right.
Yes, we consummated our 21st year.
Very good. It was a
I like
good
how
one.
he Mike moved on to asking me, and then Jay just like kind of in case anyone didn't know what that conversation was.
As if I'd be asking if you guys went to dinner.
Just wanted to close the loop.
Please, yeah. Let's just finish this thing. I want to start, before I get in my grievance and you start the clock.
Oh, he's got a sandbag now.
well, no. I'm not
Here we go.
sandbagging.
Well,
Here's,
I don't know.
Look, it found me. However,
That's
here's,
how grievances work.
I'm going to be honest with you. I get an overwhelming feeling that I've stolen someone's grievance. Jay,
Probably mine.
Jay,
If it's a good one, it's mine.
I'm fearing I'm about to steal your grievance, which you should take as a compliment, really. I think we have a list someone was keeping, but we've got to have a chart somewhere so we can just be like, oh, yeah, it was done on
yeah, I
this
agree.
date.
Need to post that.
There's a couple times when I'm like, I swear someone's grieved that before, and I think this is one of them.
Okay.
So-
All right. Well, here we go.
All right. I went to my mailbox yesterday, pulled out a bunch of stuff, and last time there was one of these cards in it. And if you remember, it was like, get well soon. We're worried about you. And it had two twos and a one in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was like,
that's how we like it.
This is great.
Easily divisible.
Oh, it was amazing. 2 for you, 2 for me, 1 for E. And so I get this card in the mail. It's got my name. It's got the little sticker. It looks like a birthday card. I'm
Hurry
like,
up.
hell yeah. Open this thing up. An invitation from AT&T. Are you fucking kidding me?
You stole it.
Okay.
I've done this one.
Have
Well,
you?
two,
But my
one that might
God,
be stolen,
this
but two,
is
I don't.
infuriating.
It is infuriating.
They're getting so good at
They're
it.
too good at it. This is bullshit, dude.
It's like handwritten.
Yes. And it's in a
It's so-
lavender. It's meant to look like a birthday card or
It is so smarmy, as if that is going to result in you giving them their business. Oh, you tricked me.
oh yeah, you totally
you
fooled
seem
me.
like a
Great.
fine, upstanding business.
Yeah.
I'll sign up. Assholes.
Who's the most at fault at this? Because I feel like there's a few companies that are doing
A lot of
this.
car dealerships, to be honest.
Yeah.
I get a lot from one of my local Lake Orion, where I'm living as a vacation.
Sure,
A local Chrysler dealer up there
Sure.
just nails me with these things.
Yeah. What are the ones that are like? They look like tax things. They look like really official.
Yes.
Like, oh shit, the government wants
Almost
me to
looks
respond.
like it's a registered letter.
Yeah,
you know?
a lot of
Oh,
times
my.
it's the one where you have to peel the top thing and the
Absolutely.
sides, and you always open them, and it's like fuck, and it's some dumb shit about nothing. It's
Yeah.
nothing. It's garbage.
I think one of our we have several postal listeners, people who either deliver or work in post office, and they said always look for at the stamp area. It says like pre-sorted, like PSRTD or something, pre-sorted
yeah. Sure.
stamp or some shit.
Yeah.
He's like, if it says that, chug it.
Really?
Yeah, tear it in half and throw it out.
No kidding. Okay, well that's good to know. But god damn, I was so excited. It was like someone sent me a card. That's cool. I've been under the weather. That's nice.
Yeah, so it's bona fide just as it was when I asserted it.
Yeah, yeah. At least I was honest.
Yeah.
I felt like it feels like a grievance we would have done, that we would have run into.
We
know?
did.
Try.
Shut up, E. Anyway, another thing I wanted to mention while I was off yesterday, I had another doctor's appointment. Turns out, dude, this is unbelievable. Proof there's a God. They ran some tests, I do not have
The AIDS?
hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, HIV 1,
Wow.
or HIV 2, or any indication
got AIDS.
of AIDS at all. I was
And
like,
when he had those AIDS, I went to my synagogue and I prayed for him.
I looked at my doctor and I went, impossible. It's
What
not.
has he done? Can you tell me?
And then I high-fived
Big
him.
Magic Johnson, what has he done?
Did you really?
Yeah, I high-fived
Like,
him.
up high, buddy.
I
Up
was like,
high.
dude, this is not possible. Are you sure? He's like, yeah, no, you don't have any of them. No sign of any of them. I was like, that. So there is a God, and if some guy that's like one miracle away from sainthood wants to claim that, he can have it. I'm fine with that.
You got tiger blood, man.
I got tiger blood, man. Tiger blood. So if anyone's interested, I am a disease-free producer over here. Huh? No
Look at you.
leaking.
Well,
no
that's good. That's
leakage.
actually good news for me, considering I licked your cum a few weeks ago.
That's true. I didn't know where you were going when you started that sentence. See?
Yeah,
he
didn't
did-
expect to hear that sentence.
Could you imagine if I came in and went, guys, I got terrible news. Turns out I'm full-blown AIDS. And then he's like, fuck, I drank his cum off a flute like a week ago. Sorry about that, pal.
Oh my God.
Shit, now I wish I would have just said that I had the AIDS just to see what E's reaction
I
was.
start like sweating over here, and I'm just like,
He's got AIDS.
Selfish piece of shit. I'm running down a list of tests. You don't even care. You're just like, oh, God, I drank his cum a week ago.
He's got AIDS.
But I did want to mention, I think you guys talked about, it might have been yesterday. Did you guys talk about that documentary on Netflix about,
We talked about a documentary
sorry.
regarding.
In regard to people with strange names,
Yeah.
like
absolutely.
Ronald McDonald.
Yep. The Strange Name movie.
Yeah, I wanted to circle back to that. We don't have to spend a whole bunch of time on it because I know you guys talked about it, but I was kind of disappointed. Did you guys like it?
You know, it was fine. They didn't go into enough sexual ones, though.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
my whole problem.
Yeah.
There's
But
so
you never
much
know how many
there.
people even got to them, though. That's my
touched on
thing.
it.
They probably had a lot of people. I feel like they showed them calling people.
Did you wait
and-
for the call with Eric Mangina?
Was there an Eric Mangina?
He demanded it be pronounced Mangina.
Mangina.
Oh, it's a
sure.
Fonz Fontes situation.
Yeah, those people. Yeah, anytime you've got a Harry that demands to be a Harold, there's a Balls or last name, or so there's an issue coming.
Now, it could have been a much different movie. To your point, they really could have honed in on the sexual stuff and did the whole hour about that.
Yeah.
But I think they were trying to make it more, G-rated.
Fucking Ronald McDonald, like, dude.
Donald Ducks,
Dude,
tons of Donald Ducks.
I was just gonna say, you're just a dick. If you are born past 1940, whenever Disney made Donald Duck, if you name your kid Donald Duck, you're an asshole. You're just an asshole. I don't care. Well, he's the second. This is Donald Duck the third.
Donald Duck the third said he would absolutely name Donald Duck the fourth.
Well, he's so gross, he's never going to get that chance because no one's going to have a kid with him. So we don't have to worry about Donald Duck the fourth. But I'm just looking at this Duck family.
Yeah, he did have a neck. One of those. He's a younger dude, and he already had like the neck beard kind of going. If you remember, like his hair
where you're
was
just kind of
Lucas.
defining your own chin.
Yeah.
Like, where do I even cut
He's like,
this thing?
I'm happy to have it. Blah blah blah. And
My
I'm like,
guess is he had no idea what to do, caught a glimpse of Lucas, and went, there it is. There's
Yeah.
the answer. There's my answer.
Well, Lucas is pretty aggressive, though. Lucas goes much higher than Donald Duck the third did.
Yeah.
Donald Duck the third allowed it to really spread into his neck region.
Yeah, well, in Lucas's defense, Donald Duck III had a lot more neck than even Lucas. Lucas has a lot of neck. He does. But Donald Duck III had a tremendous amount of neck.
Tremendous girth.
I'm glad you picked up on that, though, because this was a bit that we did, on the Drew and Mike show for years about strange but real names. And they would last, 20 seconds. How long did we get with Mrs. Head when we were looking for Dickhead and we called down to Florida?
Yeah, there's no dickhead here.
Hi, we're looking for a dickhead. It's all in the way you phrase it, and they know immediately when you say, when you don't just say, hi, is Dick there? You go, hi, we're looking for a dickhead. They're like, all right. Their antenna is so on alert.
Yeah.
These people have heard it all.
Yeah.
But it was one of my favorite bits, and I always looked up the names,
Just the most low-hanging.
I could listen to it for hours.
Juvenile.
Dude, it's not.
I agree
Here's
with
the
you.
thing.
I agree. Well, I don't disagree with you, Jay. I just, for some reason, I could listen to people reacting to that.
Yeah, what are you, 3?
Right,
Like
like the
grown
one-
people call you a
yeah.
12-year-old or something.
Yeah, that's the point. That's
Yeah.
the point. It's stupid. It's juvenile. We get it.
Dude, but I think you're mistaking what I'm talking about, because I think it's like, don't confuse the bit that we would do with, hi, is your fridge running? Well, you better catch it. You got Prince Albert in a can, that kind of thing. Like, I wanted to go high. I didn't want to call, like, Harry Balls, or things like that. And so, we got the U family. We located Fuck You in her country, and Mr. U answered the phone, her son, and was like, she does not speak English, whatever. And then he starts taking a whiz in the toilet, and he's taking a J whiz. It's loud
It's
as
healthy,
fuck.
frothy.
Yes, and
It goes for 3 minutes.
Drew says, "Are you urinating, Mr. U?" And he's like, "No, making coffee." And he's clearly taking a huge horse piss in the toilet.
Nice.
Fucking hilarious. And then the ones like I wanted to get past like the Face family, a Dick Face, whatever. And so I would look up weird things like the handlers. Like, I wanted to talk to the dick handlers of the world, the ones that you wouldn't just hear
Next step
normally.
stuff, yeah.
Trying to get to it. And some of those, when you get a dick handler on the phone, I'm telling you, dude, I've heard it so many times, because it's like, hi, we're looking for a dick handler, and she's like, yeah, he's not here, and then it turns into, she picks up on the fact that we're looking for a dick handler and doesn't like it, and she starts taking issue. That might have been the one where she said, what are you, 13?
Yeah, totally. I think it was.
And Drew says something like, well, there's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, half the population are dick handlers. Just because you have 2 of them in your household. And she just, hangs up. And so those are the ones that I loved. And that's where I think this special could have done so much more.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Jay's right, though. They weren't trying to go for that, though. They were trying to go for more names that were like...
Yeah, clearly. I mean, it's being bought by Netflix, so they must
They're
have
not gonna
some
do dick handlers on the net. I mean,
Yeah, you could obviously go a total different way, and they did touch on that category. They had Cockburn, who again claims
Coburn.
that
It's Coburn,
the
Jay.
C and K are silent. It's
Of course.
clearly Coburn.
C and K are often silent, aren't they, in words?
Absolutely,
It's Coburn. Is it? No, Cockburn. No, Cockburn.
It's not an L. It's a C and a K. It's Cockburn.
Again, it's Colburn. No. You don't get to claim Colburn for Cockburn.
So they recognized the category, but then they moved on to other things. Clearly, thematically probably to keep it in terms of what Netflix would accept. They're probably pitching this thing to them, and
yeah,
you know.
And I get it. You know, Ron McDonald, they had the commercial, the Taco Bell commercial that they did, and I remember that airing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Ducks. I mean, that's fine. I just feel like there could have been room
See how
at the end
pissed
for
Frankenstein was?
Well,
Frankenstein was pissed off.
Yeah,
it's a perfectly good name.
Yeah, what was it, like Gunther Frankenstein or some shit, like the most German name ever? And this Nazi is just like, nothing wrong with the name, you know. He's reminded me of
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein, proud name.
God damn it!
And he could not figure out why people would call and ask for Igor or whatever, and it took him a while. I feel like there could have been a category that you just go, hey, look, another part of this thing is, you know, there are people with the last name Balls that have named their kid Harry, and you know, Harry Balls. What's it like for you growing up? And they can play all the games. Oh, it's Harold actually, and it's like, no, you're Harry Balls. I feel like you just could have had a few of those in there that would have made that special. It felt like, God damn, you left it out purposely, because that's a big part of the names category. Is people that get stuck with, you know.
Oh, I agree. If I were making that, I would have really centrally focused on the Harry Balls, the Linda Cockburn, etc.
Sure.
And
the gay,
for whatever reason, they chose to go G-rated with it.
Yeah, they did. Except the gay guy.
The gay guy's life was entirely affected by this.
He's ruined.
Yeah.
He's ruined.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know what he does, but didn't he have wasn't his name like Richard Gay? Like it was Dick Gay or
Dick
something?
Gay.
Yeah, Dick Gay. I mean, his parents really did everything they could to fuck him over. And his mom's advice, just tell him you're happy. Gay means happy.
Tell him you are gay.
Have you not heard the Flintstones theme song? We'll have a gay old time. You know, we're happy.
No, Mom. So I don't know. Being named gay would suck. That would suck. But I felt bad for him. I mean, because not only did he look kind of gay,
Ended up an alcoholic.
yeah, well, but it went from like first grade until today, like when the cameras were rolling, like this has affected him.
Yeah, he got beat up by chicks. It was bad, man.
Yeah, don't want to be beat up by chicks. Fuck. Anyway, I didn't want to spend too much time on it, but I know because I know you guys talked about it. But moving on to other things, you see that damn summit got called off this morning with Kim Jong-un.
It's
and-
gamesmanship.
Yeah, you think this is part of the deal?
It'll get done.
Yeah, I'm not too worried. I guess Pence said some shit. What the fuck do they care what Pence says on some dumb interview he does?
Gamesmanship. I don't even know what he said. It'll get done.
Yeah, well, he made some crack about Libya. Like, if they don't play ball,
We'll just handle it like Libya.
Like Libya, yeah. And Un was just like, oh, go fuck yourself, man. Libya didn't have nuclear weapons like I do. I have nuclear weapons. How dare you? And so Trump, you know.
Didn't Gaddafi have a crowbar stuffed so far up his ass it killed him? Wasn't that literally what happened to him?
I don't know if it was technically a crowbar.
But some pipe or something.
Oh,
was attacked
yeah.
by a mob, and there was a pipe inserted.
I think he was hiding in like one of those what's the big heavy
Sewers.
sewer things that you can lift up, the circular ones on the street. I think that's where they found him and just fucking yanked him out of that hole. And they're really big on beating you with shoes for some reason. That region.
Huge disrespect. The feet,
Yeah,
the
I
feet
mean,
really represent.
We all remember the guy that whipped the shoe at Bush, George
Yeah,
Bush.
that's great. One of my
Guy
favorite
went to
videos.
jail.
It's awesome.
It is. He's running for office now.
Really?
He's
The shoe
running
thrower.
for the guy that whipped the shoe at George Bush is running for public office in his country. I think he went to jail for a long time though for that move. But yeah, you see, we saw it with.
Yeah, you're welcome for your freedom and democracy, asshole.
Yeah. Well, remember when Saddam's statue was toppled?
Yeah.
And it was like they could not wait to get flip-flops
Yes.
off and just start whacking
Yeah.
that son of a bitch. And so I think they beat Gaddafi with shoes and
Probably.
stuff, and they kicked the shit out of him. And then
So to reference Libya,
pull up Gaddafi's death. Or go ahead, you can play it.
to reference the Libya route is to essentially say in shorthand, yeah, you could get a pipe stuck up your ass.
Yeah.
Un.
We could take the leader out and have you fucking killed.
Lead him go, both of them. It's awesome.
Was it too? Look at Bush. Look at the moves.
Dude, that made me love Bush right there. That's when I fell in love with him.
Great
Like,
move.
fuck yes.
He'd be great in a water balloon fight, in the dodgeball game. You want him on your team in dodgeball? I'm
Probably
telling you.
paintball. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
Good
that's
reaction.
coming quick. I mean, it's a good move.
Right over his head.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. That's almost as good as the guy that flew the dildo into the press conference. You remember that?
yes, at Hillary, right?
Was that at Hillary?
I think so.
So maybe you can find that
I think
one
it was
too.
like in 14 or 15.
Yeah, I
she
mean-
was talking at some college or something.
This giant dick comes fucking flying in like a remote control helicopter. Yeah. See if you can find it. That was a while ago, but Yeah, there's been a few of those things. I don't know where I was going with that or what that had to do with the last story, but
No, you're talking about Gaddafi and how he got hit with
that's
shoes
right.
before he was hit.
That's
before
right.
he was killed.
That's right. And see if you can find Gaddafi. I think it's a G, not a K, but Gaddafi's death, because they rammed something so far up his asshole that you're right. I don't know what it was. All right, here's the.
Oh, it's a Russian dude, I swear there was one thrown at Hillary. I swear.
Dude, there's been 1,000 dildos thrown at Hillary. I mean, come on. Too many videos.
Yeah.
The big machine clogs up.
Oh, I don't remember this.
Yeah, I mean, it's got hanging balls and everything.
Dude, it's a goddamn drone. I
Yeah,
don't remember
oh, yeah.
that, man.
Someone spent a long time working on that.
Yeah.
It's clipped. You know, it's a circled one.
Ah, and then the guy jumps up,
Yeah.
whacked it.
Some guy walks out. I'll take care of this. I'll take care of this. Took it back to his car. How hilarious is that? Yeah, if you can find anything on Gaddafi's death, because there was some unique parts to that about what was jammed up his butthole. God, that sounds like a terrible way to die, doesn't
He
it?
was took refuge in a large drainage pipe, as you recall,
Yep.
with several loyalist bodyguards. A nearby group of NTC fighters, NTC, of course, we all remember them, opened fire, wounding Gaddafi with gunshots in his leg and back, according to one unnamed fighter. One of Gaddafi's own loyalists also shot him, apparently to spare him from being captured. Let's see. Anything about a pipe?
The pipe
Anything
happened.
about a pipe?
Oh, you found a G-rated version, sir.
No, I totally remember the pipe. I'm just trying to skim, 5 paragraphs here. So,
Yeah. Anyway.
sodomized with a bayonet.
Yeah, bayonet.
The
Ooh.
video shows Gaddafi being sodomized by a bayonet. Another shows Gaddafi stripped to the waist, suffering from an apparent gunshot wound to the head, in a pool of blood, together with jubilant fighters firing automatic weapons in the air. Yeah.
I don't think we ever watched it, but I'm almost positive video is out there.
Yeah.
Of him getting his ass.
Yep.
whooped.
They're
good.
referring to 3 different
Bayoneted.
videos. Another video shows him being stripped naked, verbally abused. Yeah. Ugh. So that's shorthand. Okay, we can do it like Libya.
Yeah.
And Un goes, fuck you, man.
What? No bayoneted butt. No way. No way. I have a feeling you're right. This is just
Oh, dude.
gamesmanship,
Total
little chess
gamesmanship.
match. This will come back together, and they'll
course it
do
will.
something. I thought I even read today that Un blew up one of his. There were a bunch of bombs that went off around one of his nuclear sites.
Yeah, there's satellite pictures or drone footage, I think, showing the site like 2 days ago and now, and it clearly something happened to it, man. They're saying
Yeah.
underground tunnels were blown.
Yeah.
So I think he's complying with some of the steps that they required, like start to dismantle your test sites.
Yeah, he's already come this far. I
Yeah.
mean, releasing 3 Americans, and I mean, there's just a lot there that it'd be stupid not to.
It's just
so.
the pissing match nature of,
Yeah.
Trump doesn't want to be shown up by him demanding
Yeah.
that we stop our military exercises, which we did.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
to show good faith.
Yes.
And so Trump fires back at him, and it'll come together.
Yeah, I agree. E, will you go turn on the air? I turn off the air, and I'm sweating. Are you guys hot?
It's hot as fuck.
It's hot as I'm literally sweating through my shirt. Do you know how to do it, E? Do you know how to flip? Can you flip a switch? The one that says cool, not heat.
Push it toward cool.
Yeah, you want to go towards cool. Fucking. Did you see that the NFL came out with their new ruling on taking a knee?
Absolutely, yeah.
Boy, is this you probably like this story. I'm guessing. I know you don't like the disrespect. I don't either.
Yeah.
I just think it's a dumb. I don't know.
Why?
Something
Why?
feels weird about this story.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, I don't know. It feels sort of un-American. I don't like.
Hold on. You're
Yeah.
not taking away these individuals' rights to protest anything.
Right.
You're just saying we're not going to give you the platform.
Yeah.
We have a product that we want displayed. We want it displayed in a certain way.
Yeah.
And you're not going to hijack our product.
Yeah.
And if you want to not come out for the anthem, okay. But we're going to continue doing this anthem.
Mm-hmm.
And, dude, have at it. Go protest your stuff. In fact, I think they allocated some funds to black
course.
issues or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
to show
yeah.
that they care. But I
To
don't,
show that they care.
well, I don't have a problem at all with it. Well, I heard someone saying it was bullshit because they took it out of funds that were ready to go to Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and they just moved it. And they really didn't even
Can
name.
we stop
I think
calling it Breast Cancer Awareness Month for fuck's sakes? Is anyone out there not aware of breast cancer?
Dude, there's a lot of studies that show that NFL bullshit that they do that month doesn't
Dude,
do shit.
Yeah,
course it
very
doesn't
little
do
money
shit.
actually goes to research.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Have you ever pulled out your checkbook because your favorite wide receiver is wearing pink wristbands? No.
Right.
No. Nobody has. It's silly and dumb. It's thoughts and prayers and shit is all it is.
Right.
And now high school, I think we've talked about it over. High school
So
teams
douchey.
do it. And so now
Douchebag
these
high school football players, yeah.
right, have to buy new. It's just, dude, it's probably just to buy new jerseys.
I just wanted to say the phrase.
Yeah.
I know you. It's all right.
It's just hilarious because you know what they're just emulating
Yeah.
their heroes, but it's like, dude, take your fucking pink cleats off. You're in high school, you ass. It's your parents and your friends in the stands. Stop it. Stop it. Yeah, excuse me. I have a feeling this rule, because it seemed weird, they didn't talk to the union, the players' union, which means I don't give a shit what the players have to say.
Right. Totally.
This
isn't going to be negotiated. This is what we're going to do.
Yes.
And they're not penalizing if players come out and do it. They're not going to fine the player. They're going to fine the team.
Yeah. And some teams are already coming out. I think the Jets already came out and said, well, if they find
Yeah.
that we'll
cover
pick up.
it.
We'll
So
cover
do
it.
what you do. We'll cover it.
Yeah. This is clearly a move that the NFL saw as we have not handled this well. We have misread the room. Americans do not want to see spoiled, overpaid athletes disrespecting their flag. They don't give a shit what the reason is.
Yeah.
Not the time. And you know what? We're not taking this up with the union. We're not doing shit. Here's the new rule. Boom.
Right. And as long as it doesn't violate the collective bargaining agreement, any provision of that, they can do it.
Yeah. Well, the union's already coming up. Well, clearly they didn't ask our opinion. It's like, yeah, they don't have to. They're the owners of the teams.
Yeah.
You know, there's 32 teams. They own those things, and they're watching their profits drop, and they're watching their ratings drop, and empty seats in the stands. Now, how much of that is because of the kneeling? I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
I know. I don't know.
It's hard to say. I know my
think it's
grandpa would not be watching. My grandfather would not be watching the NFL because of the kneeling. Period.
It's a combination of a lot of things, but I think it does play a part. I think it's impossible to say, obviously. I guess we'll see if this thing is corrected.
Yeah.
And there is no more kneeling. I guess we'll see if it ticks back up. But only time will tell. I just don't have a problem with them doing this at all.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Like, go protest. Go on your own time. Go before you enter the stadium. Draw a crowd.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
You're free to do that.
Yeah.
It's your First Amendment. We're not stepping on it.
That's what people argue. It's a First Amendment right to also do it when you don't like me doing it.
Not when you're at work.
Yeah, it's a good argument. It's a good argument.
The NFL has a product that they want to
Yeah.
set forth in a certain way, and if you want to be on this team, you want to be in this league.
When they first started talking about, ratings are down 17%, 20%, whatever they were doing, I wanted to go, okay, people are upset about the kneeling, but honestly, Jay, I think it's way more what you keyed in on a couple of years ago, which is, you know what? My boys are not going to sit down for 4 hours and watch a fucking football game.
Yeah.
And I just don't think, I think it has way more to do with this younger generation. Like, I am shocked when I saw a Larry King, I think it was a Larry King interview of all things. He's doing internet stuff, and he's got a
Tell
good,
me about this NFL, this league, this
This
football thing.
How important is the pigskin to the game? Is it important to have a pigskin on the field?
Is it actual pigskin?
So you're a
Did they-
skateboarder.
so
How
this-
important is the board? So you were raped in your car after going grocery shopping. What did you do with the groceries? Did the ice cream melt?
fucking moron. But he did like a 20-minute interview with someone, and then it was cut into like 21-minute segments, and it was like, what the fuck? What are they doing? And it's like, oh yeah, no kid is gonna watch a 20-minute interview. He may absolutely watch every one of those 21-minute clips, and I'm like, that is the most retarded thing I've ever heard. But that's just the reality.
Well, everybody's consuming now. Yeah.
Yes, and it's taken me a long, long time to even get my head around that sort of thing. But I think that's the problem the NFL is going to run into.
So many problems.
Parents aren't going to want their kids playing because of
Huge.
the head injuries and shit. And then secondly, I just don't think kids have the patience like we did to sit for 4 hours in a stadium or at home watching on TV. I think it has way more to do because probably kids, your kids' age, are probably sympathetic to the Kaepernicks of the world. You know what I mean? In a lot of ways, or the Eric Reeds of the world.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was surprised at this. I thought there would have been way more discussion before they just dropped this new rule that they did, but whatever.
I'm sure it was well thought out. I
Yeah.
shouldn't say well thought. I'm sure it was poured over, thought about for a long time, and resolved through a lot of discussion. You know what? If we open this up for discussion with the union, it's just going to
Drag.
It's going to drag. It's going to become some middle ground, and we just can't have a middle ground.
Yeah.
We just got to say no. we don't want this.
Yeah.
Go protest on your own time, man.
Yeah.
Stay in the locker room if you want to. Cool.
I imagine those 32 owners, when they get in a room, you get this room full of billionaires who are used to doing and saying anything they want in a private conversation with Roger Goodell are going, I don't give a fuck what these players want. I'm selling jerseys, motherfucker, and my sales are down. They ain't taking a knee on my field, because that's how they feel. Jerry Jones can say whatever he wants. Outside of the 49ers, that progressive shitbag organization, they probably mean it and want to take knees with everybody, but that's probably the only organization, you know?
I want to make as much money as possible.
Hey, did you see the video of the Milwaukee Bucks?
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
I did not. I started to watch
Sterling
this, and it was
Brown.
super long, and then my internet went out, and I just was having trouble getting to the point where he gets tased.
Yeah. It's going around kind of bigly. You have that, E, right? I don't know if I asked you to get
Milwaukee
it.
Bucks rookie gets tased over a parking issue.
Yeah.
And
$200 would have been a $200 violation or
yeah,
something.
is this bad? This is bad, isn't it?
Well, it's not. Yeah, it is. It's bad because it just furthers. Like, if that was you, I don't think you're treated that way. I don't think 4 other cop cars show up. I don't think they drag you to the ground. I don't think they fucking tase you. You know, that's just the reality. And I know there's a lot of cops that listen to us and like our show. And I don't mean to insult them, because there's lots of good cops out there. But this type of incident is not. It's just not necessary. Now, you know, the cop is kind of in his face in the beginning, and, you know, oh, your parking job here. And it's like, dude, he's probably driving a $200,000 car. Can you not at least go, okay, this guy may be someone, I don't recognize him, but shit, that looks like a pretty damn nice car that's taken up 2 parking spaces and into a handicap spot in a basically empty lot, you know? And so he's taking issue with that. And then it's like, you know, back up, son. You know, one of those where we're going to back up. He's kind of, they're 2 feet from each other.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, and the cop says, everything's being recorded. Got a camera right here. And the guy's like, yeah, whatever, dude. Fine, man. It's like, and so the cop puts his hand on him, and Sterling Brown is like, dude, don't touch me, man. You know, this is a parking thing. If you want to issue something, whatever. And he's just not playing ball with a cop. Mr. Brown is not yelling. I mean, I'll show you a couple seconds of it just to see.
I guess this is.
If you think.
I don't know how the audio is on this.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know which. That's not the one I was. It's like 6 minutes long, but that's probably better, a minute long. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, this. You know what? This isn't. It's before that, when the one-on-one cop, he immediately calls for backup, and they show up, and pretty quickly they drag him onto the ground. Taser, taser, taser. You know, and so. This video, this happened a while ago, and the video's just come out now. And is Sterling Brown perfect in it? No. I mean, what I would do at that point when it starts to eat up, I go, guys, you understand I'm a guard for the Milwaukee Bucks.
That's what I was going to ask. Did he ever call out who he is? Like, I think the treatment probably is different if he goes, hey, gentlemen.
Yeah,
I'm fucking 6'8" here.
Yeah,
you know, I play for the Bucks or whatever.
That car costs more than all of your salaries combined, right? You know that. I didn't steal that. He's wearing a chain. They get him up off the ground after he's been tased. Boy, people look disheveled once they're tased. I mean, it does a number on hair and everything. I mean, it really blows you out a little bit.
Electricity flowing through your system.
Yeah, and so he's standing there, and one. I think one of the cops is like, man, that's Sterling Brown from the Bucks.
Oh,
like,
shit.
One of the cops recognizes him.
This is the whole video. I don't know if you have any idea.
Yeah, go to the very beginning and then the very end. I just want Jay to see the interaction with the cop and see if it could have been handled differently, because this is a lot of times the argument in these cases where it's like, dude, did you do everything you could to be a peace officer and bring this situation down,
or did you escalate it?
Or did we escalate it? Back to the very beginning, E. Come on, man. Come on. We can do this. So there's his car.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell what it is. Empty shit parking lot.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's 2 a.m. probably.
Okay, but the law's the law.
That's right.
Yeah, so he's parked perpendicular across.
Yeah. He's like, dude, I had to run into Walmart for 1 second. He's like, I was here for a minute.
It's a Benz.
It's a Benz. Yeah. Probably not a 3 Series. So here he comes.
How you doing? You got a driver's license? Where's that? Where's your driver's license? Back up. You don't see the issue here? Hold on.
Yeah, at that point he ought to have his hands out of his pockets and
Yeah.
be complying. But
That's why they end up tasing him, hands in pockets.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. 2390. Can't get another squad here.
So he's already calling for backup.
Back up. Are you obstructing me? I just told you to back up. I just told you to back up.
Should he listen to the cop? Of course. Back up.
Everything you say is on camera, okay? You touched me first. So that's right. I told you to back up. Because you're going to try and get in the car. I'll do what I want, all right? I own this right here. You don't own me, though. So what's your name?
You don't own me.
I didn't say I own you. I said I own this. Well, this is me. Don't touch me, though. You don't own me. What's your name? What's your name? I'm
It's on there, Sterling Brown. So go to the end after he's been tased. He looks a little disturbed. Because right now he looks well put together, right? He's got the hoodie
Yep.
on. Things are going well. You'll see him get off the ground. You know, a little different look, you know. I mean, it's just,
Shit. That fucking blows.
yeah. He's basically telling the cop, well, fucking Google me then, man. He's like, who are you? Who are you?
See, it almost appears that he all along knows he's got this trump card, that he's Sterling Brown.
Yeah.
And this is being taped,
Yeah,
and this
yeah.
will ultimately show that you guys are fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Doesn't he kind of have that attitude? Like,
For sure.
You know, he's not overtly fighting him or anything. He's just like,
You got all night long.
Yeah, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't have to tell you shit. Yeah, he's got an attitude, and I can understand why a lot of young black males would have an attitude, seeing a lot of the videos and that have been shown, some of which are, in both of our opinions, total bullshit, justified as hell. Some of them are less justified, and some of them are downright criminal. And this one, that's a great point. Was he holding a trump card, knowing who he was?
kind of appears that way, you know? Like,
Yeah.
he's just like, what
Yeah.
you doing, man? You know, he knows that ultimately
Yeah.
he's Sterling Brown, and he owns a frickin' Benz, and he's got a team of lawyers behind him, and he's going to have a big social media account that can farm this around, and this is going to get out, so do what you got to do.
And everything he's done since high school is newsworthy.
And I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not going to be super compliant, but I'm not going to be non-compliant either, and
Yeah.
do what you do, copper. You're writing the story here.
Yeah. How this plays out is on you.
Yeah.
It sucks. I used to get pulled over all the time. It was usually going
Did
to
you
work.
say hundreds of times?
Oh,
Wasn't
at
that
least.
declared?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's been
probably
he's
true.
declared quite a bit for sure.
Yeah,
You know,
I think he's
it's
declared
not like
hundreds.
I'm, declared that 99% of the, listeners know what Quegan it is. But whatever. It's neither here nor there.
Also, the thousands of concerts at the Joe Louis.
That's right. He's been to
Right.
thousands of concerts at Joe Louis, and he's been,
Meanwhile,
he's
they
been
probably
pulled
had,
over hundreds of times.
Meanwhile, they probably had 200 concerts total at Joe Louis. It turns out.
Maybe.
Yeah. But I've literally been pulled over lots of times. Usually it was going to work at a crazy early hour. You're running late. You know you've got a ton of stuff to do before a show starts. And so it's like, there's no one on the road. It's empty, and you're doing 90 down 696.
We're a nation of laws, Mike.
I know. But when that would happen, you'd get pulled over. A cop would go, "So, what are we in a hurry for? Where are we going?" And
You'd be like, "Do you know who I am?"
you never want to. Do you know who I am? But there are ways to do you know who I am without do you know who I aming it, right? And so it's like, oh man, officer, this I feel terrible. A little radio show down the street, and I am running late, and
Just got to entertain the masses, you know?
and then it's like, well, which show? And you're like, the Drew and Mike show. I love that. Go on, man. You need an escort, and so
Need an escort.
I'll get you there on time, man. Let's go. And so there were tons of times, or if you were doing a bar gig and you'd get pulled over, and it was like, so where are we going in such a hurry? It's like, wow, man, I had to work. I had a bar gig to do for the station. And what's the station? Radio station. And I got to get up first thing in the morning. I mean, the Drew Mike show starts prompt at 6 a.m. And then, so, I wouldn't say it quite like that. But there were ways that you would do it. And so for Sterling, my point is, for Sterling Brown.
It appeared to me Sterling didn't want to play that.
Right.
He didn't want them to know who he was. He just wanted to see how they'd treat him.
Yeah. And
Honestly, that's my view of that after watching just
Yeah.
a couple minutes of that. That looks like
That's
a dude that's like,
interesting.
oh, really? Okay. Let's see
Yeah.
how you do this.
That's an interesting take, because that's a thought that just would never have crossed my mind. What would cross my mind is, okay, chicks use their tits or tears to get out of tickets. I'm going to use what I got. Find a way to drop what you do, because you knew cops were fans of the show, and they weren't usually going to give you a ticket for something like that. And so the thought of like, Well, I'm just going to be who I am and see if he figures it out. If not, maybe he drags me across the cement.
Hey, that's a fair view, man.
Yeah.
If that was in fact Sterling's view, like,
Yeah.
I don't. Why should I seek better treatment? I'm just a man leaving
Yeah.
a store. Yes, I'm triple parked.
Yep.
I deserve a parking ticket probably, but let's see how you treat me.
I'm triple parked in a parking lot that holds 4,000 cars and has one in it. So, yes, by all means, this is an emergency. Let's deal with this right now. Because the cop could have just gone, hey, you're parked like a dick. $200 ticket. There you go. And Sterling goes, thanks, asshole. And he's on his way.
Yep.
The Bucks statement, they stand by him, of course. Sterling has our full support as he shares his story and takes action to provide accountability. Unfortunately, this isn't an isolated case. And Sterling released a statement, too, and he's speaking for, and then he lists the usual suspects, the Eric Garners of the world and the, all those things. And who else? There were, Stephen Clark of Sacramento. Is he the one that was driving at the cops and he shot?
No, he's the one who was hiding under the deck not too long ago, and his brother,
yeah.
really went off
on Don Lemon.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
which was great.
He had a bell. He was like,
That's
remember that?
right. He brought his own bell to the interview. Yes, and he wouldn't answer his questions, and then he started to cry, and then he'd be like, man up, and shit. Laquan McDonald in Chicago, who was lit up 16 times by the cops.
right.
That was a bad one. And he names a few others, but Dante Hamilton. Why don't I remember Dante Hamilton of Milwaukee?
It doesn't ring a bell either.
Probably local. He's a Buck, the basketball player. That's probably why he remembers it. But
Gentlemen, Zot Ford's famous spring fling is finally here. It was a long, cold winter, as you know, but it's time to sell lots of vehicles and get back on track. Here's a deal that even Easis can afford. It's a sign and drive lease on select new all-wheel drive 18 Ford Escapes for just $222 a month, zero cash due. Also, they've dropped the price on select new 18 Ford F-150 Super Cab 4x4s, almost $13,000. That's over 30% off. See details and their massive inventory at dealsandthed.com.
I want one of those for sure. Hey, dude, is today E's History Day?
This day in history
Oh, shit.
with Big E. Are you ready, Easis?
Nah.
Not really? No.
I can run up and.
I mean, we can take a break and come back and
you give
do
me a
it.
few minutes, I can. But,
But you did prepare something.
yeah, I have something.
What century are we in?
I guess it's 20th.
Okay.
What year? Just give me a year, because I don't know if you know what 20th century means.
1935.
Wow, he does.
Well, all right. At least he's not in the
1935,
1770s.
We're World War II, huh? Or
Yeah.
the beginning of the Nazis?
No.
We're leading up to World War II?
I don't give a shit about World War II.
Okay, 1935. We've got Hitler just on the rise at that time. I'm not sure what else was going on worldwide in 1935. I can't wait for History Day.
Yeah. It's got to be something about, it could be about Detroit making things, making tanks and automobiles.
It's nothing to do with the war
Oh, wow. And not Hitler
in
either.
any capacity.
Damn. Okay. And then we've got to get into Brandi Chastain.
Who famously whipped off her jersey after the
yeah.
Women's World Cup win in, what, 98, was it?
Was it 98?
Something like that.
You know what?
Yeah.
97, I think. 97 or 8, yeah.
It was 99 World Cup. You're both
Damn.
wrong. Both of you
99.
were
I
wrong
would have
today.
definitely said 97. Damn.
Did you see her she went into the Hall of Fame in San Francisco?
No, I did not.
Oh, great. You're going to love this. You just made my day that you don't know this
Did
yet.
go in as a man or a woman? Or both?
Depends if we're talking about the bronze plaque they made for her or if we're talking about her.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You love these stories. I love these stories. And this is a fantastic one. We'll get to that in Biggie's history next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. Mike and Jay. Did you see, well, you wouldn't have, Jay, but I posted on Facebook yesterday. McCarty, D-Mac sent me a picture from Florida.
Oh, yeah?
He's shirtless. He's got his back to me. He's double flipping the birds. And I was like, I'm sharing this with people. He's like, I don't give a shit. And he's really excited. He's coming to town. He's down in Florida.
Yeah, he'll be back this weekend, won't he?
Yeah, he's coming to town, and he's super fired up to do the next episode of Grind Time.
Well.
With Darren McCarty. He's talking about bringing bands in. Yeah. So he's
not going to fuck with my headphones, is he?
I don't know.
These say mine on them.
I know. He enjoyed that.
They say literally mine.
Yeah, they don't say Jay. They don't say Detroit Cast. They just say mine.
Well, what happened was I had one that said J, but those are my old ones, so I don't want to be like J star, J number 2. No, they're mine.
Usually you would take the ones that don't work anymore and throw those in the garbage.
But
and
they
then
they do work, sort of.
Yeah, but
they're
those
good
are
secondary.
Those are professionals, though, and the others are digitals.
Right.
Yeah. Big difference.
And they're mine.
Mine. Don't touch.
As stated thereon.
Yeah, you remember when Darren lashed at me last time I sat in with him because he brought his own. He brought some beats in, and he couldn't. The thing wasn't working, so he couldn't hear anything. And it was like, dude, you could have put mine headphones on and been just fine. You would have been just fine, but no, you had to bring your own fucking beats in and not plug them in properly, and then leap up and act like I'm fucking turtling Lemieux on the ground as he screamed.
He leapt?
Dude, I swear to God, I saw the fury.
Yeah.
I saw
Did you
what
go, ah!
I saw what Lemieux saw
Really?
right before he got fucking pow right in the kisser. Yeah, it was like, dude, put on mine. Fuck, dude, you're the one.
No, don't put on mine.
I don't want to
mine.
get punched. I don't want a turtle. Put on mine.
Bring
don't
your
bring
beats,
your own fucking
D-Mac.
beats in.
Bring your beats.
Shit.
They're mine.
So I know there was good response to the first episode that we threw out there, and he's fired up, man. Here we are.
Good.
So he's coming to town, I believe, Tuesday or something, and he's coming in. He wants to bring a band in. I'm like, hell yeah, dude, do whatever you want to do, man.
That's sweet.
So yeah. So anyway, I wanted to mention that.
Mike, before we go too much further, Hamlin Pubs, they are inviting everyone to their 5 Metro Detroit locations. Come enjoy Hamlin Pubs' great food, their drinks, and their atmosphere. Whether you're watching the game with your buddies, out for a meal with the family, or even out for an evening with your girl, it's always a great time at Hamlin Pubs, Rochester, Clarkston, Chesterfield, and 2 Shelby Township locations.
We got to do something with them soon.
I would agree with you.
You know what I mean?
It's been
Wouldn't
a
it be
while.
cool to grab Darren and some of the guys from
Sure.
the Grind Time Podcast, grindtimepodcast.com, and our show, and go out there and just fucking blow that place up one night?
Sure.
Sure. I think people will be happy to see Darren McCarty as they were Jerry from the Jacks. You know what I mean?
Okie dokie, Mike.
Okie dokie, Mike. Now, Jay, do you want to get to Brandi Chastain, or would you rather get E out of the way first?
Let's go right to Brandi Chastain. You've piqued my interest with a Q.
Right. Well, Brandi, I think she was part of those world-class, number one in the world soccer, the U.S. women's soccer teams,
They won the
right?
World Cup, as indicated by you before the break in 1999.
99, and
she famously whipped her jersey
showed her titties off to everybody.
She had the sports bra famously underneath.
Yeah. What did you think of that move at the time? Did you like it? Or?
Yeah.
Because that's what the guys do.
The
Take
guys
their
do.
shirts off. And I would have preferred titties, like bare titties. That would have made it way better. But, never been a huge fan of the sports bra, but it's better than the jersey, I suppose.
Yeah.
And she was a great player. I'm not going to pretend to know much about women's soccer, but was she a captain and anything like that?
I don't remember if she was at that point, but yeah, she was really good.
And that was a penalty kick, I believe, when she
Mm-hmm.
winning.
So she's been immortalized now in San Francisco.
Yes, I guess they've got
in bronze-like fashion.
They've got a Bay Area Hall of Fame, and she was inducted with the likes of Harris Barton, for instance, who was a lineman for the 49ers for a long time. Who else went in? Let's see. He was an offensive lineman. Matt Cain, great pitcher for the Giants. I believe he won a World Series with them.
Okay.
And then you had, I know people aren't going to know a lot of these people, but there was someone else, Golden State Warrior, Tim Hardaway.
Okay.
You remember Tim Hardaway?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then the Niners executive, John McKay, who you wouldn't know. So she goes in, and it's like, okay, we get
They bust them? Do they do the busts?
They do. It's like a bust plaque. It's
Okay.
like a framed bust, but it's
Got it.
bronze.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
We've seen these. I think they do it at the Baseball Hall of Fame. Everybody has their bronzed plaque.
There you
their
go.
Face and then a little blurb about who they are and what they did, right?
exactly. But it's not just the head like Lionel Richie, in the video. It's plaqued, but I believe it's 3-dimensional. I believe it pops a little bit.
I think you're right.
And so her and her husband show up for the ceremony, excited as you can be. What an honor! I mean, honestly, what an honor to go into the Hall of Fame. And
no.
And so we get to see.
Oh, what?
Yep. So there's Brandi's.
That looks like my
See if
Uncle
you can
Bob.
see if you can find a better one. Oh, dude, the comparisons are that people are saying, like on Twitter.
That is fucking absurd.
Yeah.
Like I see Tim Hardaway sitting next to him. All right, kind of looks like the Dr. Martin Luther King himself.
Yeah.
But he could pass for Tim Hardaway.
There's better pictures too. If you can find just the bronze statue.
This looks nothing like Brandi Chastain.
You don't see her in there?
I only pulled that one up originally because I thought you wanted to, because you see
There you
her
go.
and then you see
There
it.
you go.
but-
What
That
the
looks like
fuck,
her.
man?
Is this a joke? Seriously.
It couldn't look less like Brandi Chastain.
Like the artist did this and then was like, "Yep, nailed it."
Fuck.
They won't even name the artist. They won't name him for fear of shame and hate.
I don't see a single piece of her. You could at least have made long hair. I
Yeah.
guess the assumption is it's pulled back on this plaque. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It looks like the fat chick from Ghostbusters, and she played Sean Spicer on SNL. Looks more like her,
Yeah, okay, I see that. What most people say, and I'll throw some names out and see what you think. George Washington's wife, Martha. Some others thought Mickey Rooney.
Yeah, more than Brandi Chastain.
I see Mickey Rooney. If they said, "Hey, Mickey Rooney's going into the Bay Area Hall of Fame," I'd be like, "Yeah, it's not a terrible
No, I'd be
rendition
like, that
of Mick."
doesn't look like Mickey Rooney, but I'd never say it looked like Brandi Chastain.
The closest woman she was compared to, okay, Mrs. Doubtfire. I don't
see that. It doesn't look like anybody. It just
Bill
looks like
Belichick,
maybe a little Bill Belichick in
Jimmy
there.
Carter,
Yep, the
Babe
teeth.
Ruth. Do you see Babe Ruth in there? Because the late Robin Williams.
It looks like a mix between Belichick and the last two that you mentioned, Babe Ruth.
A lot of Biff from
Oh,
Back to
yeah.
the Future.
Back
as
to the
well.
Future.
Teeth. I think the teeth are prominently grabbing people's attention. That looks nothing like Brandi Chastain.
Her husband, Jerry Smith, says, "Yeah, it's really not flattering." He walked in for the ceremony. He's confused.
Does she have a lazy eye in this too? I mean, what were they trying to do to her?
I don't know. The artist obviously didn't like her.
Yeah.
I mean, that's clear. Smith said when he walked into the hotel in the San Francisco for the ceremony, he was confused. I walked in there trying to figure out which one is Brandi. I finally see her name, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I don't think that looks too much like her." An unknown artist designed the bronze plaque for it, and the Hall of Fame
Fucking
president
brutal.
said,
Wow.
he didn't like the plaque either, but he wouldn't out the particular artist and ruin his career. So that's what they're worried about. He spoke to Brandi Chastain and was like, "Look, if you want, we will have another artist do this again."
I'd be like, yeah, please. This is
And that's what
absurd.
she said. Yeah,
Really? She asked for one?
They should have
That
asked
would
for
be
that
great.
before.
But dude, this is gonna do what it did to Lucille Ball, where it's like, I want the shit Lucille Ball one.
Yeah.
You know
That
what I mean?
Lucille Ball also had chompers that were out of control. That is so bad. There's Lucille. What about the Cristiano Ronaldo one?
Oh,
remember that bust? There he is.
that's the eyes.
My God.
Yeah.
Don't fuck up the eyes.
Yeah. Andy Murray struggled with a tennis player, Andy Murray, too.
Sure that's not Thomas Jefferson?
I was going to say, doesn't he look like he belongs in a Civil War or something? I mean, what's with the armor?
I know.
I
It's
mean-
like a samurai armor suit.
Imagine you show up for your thing and it's like, yeah, you just got to show, well, we're gonna unveil it. And there you are standing next to your statue. And it's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, man.
Really?
Wow, these people just are failing to capture it.
Colin Firth had an interesting one as well.
Colin Firth.
Yeah.
What the? That's like paper mache or
Yep,
something.
yep, sure is. It's got some
Like
nice lamb chops on
Going to
him.
Burning Man or something? What,
Yeah.
What is that all about?
And lastly, Steve Jobs got a nice one too, and I believe this, if it's not already, it's going to be in their headquarters, a 16-foot statue of Steve Jobs on location. There's another one of Steve Jobs too, where it's just his like decapitated head on some symbols, and it's like, whoa. That doesn't look like Steve
That one's
Jobs.
probably the best depiction of all of them so far. The Steve
Yeah,
Jobs, right?
here's the one I was thinking of. He's got it now.
1 second.
The head on a platter.
Yeah.
Hey, remember the Gerald Ford at Mackinac Island? The big bronze Gerald Ford? Pull that one up, Easus. Whoa, that's Steve Jobs?
Yeah.
And what's going on underneath him?
Some equation of some sort. And I believe that's 16 feet in height.
Oh, no.
You said it's Mackinac Island?
Yeah, it was on Mackinac Island.
We've
It was,
talked about that
yeah, it's
before.
Gerald Ford. It's this enormous rendering of Gerald Ford in bronze.
At his head.
Looks like a goddamn alien. It is so bad.
Yeah,
I
dude.
think this has since been removed. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Dude, that's almost brilliant, though.
It looks
Seriously, it's-
Simpsons-esque.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it does.
It's cartoon-like in its simplicity.
Where is that next to? Like, is that an important house there? Is that just some
The
dude-
fucking fort, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's right there in the middle of the goddamn Mackinac Island. This is not put off on some weird spot. This is like, if you're taking a carriage ride, you're going right by
Look at
it.
this image. Just because it's
Yeah, I think they removed it last year.
What? No, you got to keep that. If it's that bad, you
Can
almost
we
have to
get that?
keep it.
Can the Detroit Cast get that?
Dude, honestly, I would let that sit in my front lawn. I would.
so
I would let
badass.
every one of those statues sit in my front lawn.
It looks like Homer Simpson in a way.
It does. Honestly, it does.
Yeah.
Big upper lip.
Yeah, and kind of that. It's a weird bronze color too. It's
His
kind of a
hair.
yellow.
His hair is awesome.
Oh, dude, there's like metal bars bent to
Yeah,
make
man.
wispy hair.
It's crazy.
What is with these
What an
bronze
endeavor.
artists?
Oh, they're bad.
Like, I get it. The court renderers are atrocious. They're an
They're
embarrassment to the
dealing with
profession.
pastels. They're dealing with chalks. They're dealing in quickness, speed, agility, quickness.
yes.
They're trying to get through this thing and render this so they can get it to the news media.
And
now,
the
these
fact
guys
is-
have all day.
Yeah.
They've got all fucking year.
And the fact is, with the court renderers, the artist, the person they're depicting is not sitting still for them. So you really can't blame them when Tom Brady looks like E.T. It's not, but these guys, like, there's no excuse for Lucille Ball to look like that ever.
Yeah.
Like, dude, honestly, if I gave you a bunch of bronze in a couple weeks, I think you could do a better job of Lucille Ball than that.
I'm not saying like metal working
equal.
is easy, but dude, come on, we gotta, when was the Bronze Age? I mean, we're centuries beyond where
Put Brandi Chastain back up.
we ought to have at least accomplished the ability to render something that looks like the human
Yeah.
we're trying to depict.
Is there not like a like I would think there'd be an outline of sorts where you could go, hey guys, what do you think? Before I put the official bronzing on this, I've done the sculpture part of it. What do you think?
Right.
You know what I mean? Where you
Yeah,
could get
some
some
sort of-
input and someone goes, what the? No, dude, no. Because
It's like a middle-aged lesbian, and not to say
Yeah.
that Brandi Chastain isn't, but it doesn't look like Brandi Chastain.
dude, the fact that she loves pussy does not have anything to do with this statue. So she scissors at night, whatever. It shouldn't affect her statue, And here's the truth, honestly, Jay. If I gave you 2,000 guesses,
No, I absolutely not. Would have never.
2,000
ever.
guesses,
Nope.
and I'll even go this far: athlete. 2,000 guesses, athlete.
I'd have been all over the tennis world. I'd have been like Billie Jean
Navratilova-
King, Navratilova without her glasses on. I'd have been thinking like middle-aged lesbian, and I don't know.
Seriously, how many guesses would it take? 1, 2. I'm
1,000,
serious.
million.
2,000 guesses. I don't
Nope.
think you would hit Brandi Chastain. It would be a lucky guess if you did.
Yes.
Seriously. All right, Easus.
It's that bad.
We've waited long enough.
Are you ready, sir?
Give me a second here.
This day in history with Big E.
Sure. Okay. All right. 1935, the first Major League Night Baseball game was held in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati?
Now, here's the thing. I will say, now
Thank
here's
you.
the
I
image
am a
of it.
visual learner, so I appreciate the picture.
Before people start hammering on this was not the first night game that baseball had necessarily had. It was
Then
the
why
first
are we doing this?
first Major League night game that had happened. So,
Boy, I got some issues here. I got to tell you. This is just too much space between
Dude,
the front.
I was about to point that out.
it's-
That front row
They're
is
fucked.
30 yards from the first baseline?
Yeah.
Shit, man.
You tell your buddy, dude, I got front row seats behind the dugout, and it's like, oh, I didn't know I needed binoculars to see home plate. Wow. Thanks for the sweet seats.
It's a football field, that's why.
I mean, even look at the ump compared to where the backstop. Dude, this is a disaster.
yeah.
So it was the first Major League Baseball sanctioned night game. That's why there actually was a game in 1880 after Thomas Edison invented the light bulb that some department stores played against, but it was shit.
He did that with the key and the kite.
The lightning strike.
Yep.
And the first minor league game credited for having a night game is actually in Grand Rapids in Michigan.
Wow.
July 7th, 1909. But basically,
what the hell took MLB so long? They had the technology in '80.
The reason is basically
55 years later.
Major League Baseball saw it as a gimmicky thing. They didn't see it as a lot of people were stuck to the thing that games should be played in the day, and this was just a way to draw
just
attention.
Just Chicago, man.
Right, 1988, I think, or something, when they first finally had lights.
That's so weird. You would just assume that, most people work during the day.
Right,
Why
and that's the
wouldn't
thing.
You have it at night?
The reason,
because they play all week. It's not like it's a weekend event.
Exactly, and so what was happening is that the Reds were starting to go under, and they were getting at an average of less than 3,000 people per game.
Why are they called the Reds anyway?
It just had to do with the color of their jerseys.
Indians.
I don't know why they chose red, but it had to do with the fact that they had red-colored jerseys.
Glad that you anticipated that question.
But
you know what? That's a weak fucking answer, though. That's a lazy boardroom answer. What's our team name? There's red on our uniform. Why don't we just go with Reds?
I completely agree with you. I'm just
that is the answer, though.
gobsmacked that he knew the answer.
I know. Yeah.
I thought he was going to go back to the. Oh, dude, fuck. Shit,
Let me bing it. Hold on.
Reds. How do you spell red?
This image is...
I'm insulted by that answer. I don't know. There's a lot of red in our uniform. Why don't we just call us the Reds, I guess?
They were called the Red.
Man.
I think they're actually technically called the Red something else. It wasn't just the Reds at first. It was called the Red Sox. Not the Red Sox, but the Red Leggings.
The Red Stockings.
Something like that. This image is actually President Roosevelt. Symbolically, President Roosevelt sent a telegram from Washington, to say, turn on the lights, or some shit like that.
Can you prove that's him?
No, that's not him. He was in Washington sending a
reader
telegram.
of the telegram.
Yeah, this guy read the telegraph and then turned on the lights.
Boy, that must be a nerve-wracking moment. Talk about, throwing out the first pitch, sending the telegram to the White House to tell them to turn on the lights.
Well, the White House sent the telegram to the stadium, but
okay.
I do
This
see
is
your
kind
point.
of just an image. This image is just kind of an image of while the lights were going
What's
up.
that place seedy?
It sat 30,000, but there was only 20,422 at the game.
Look at this. Look at this. There's no way 3 months ago these questions have answers. They just don't exist. The answers don't exist to these questions.
But 20,000 went, and they had 7 more night games that year. They were before this year. The Reds owner went to the thing and said, "Look, I want to do this." A lot of owners didn't want to do it. He convinced me. He said, "Man, I'm going under. My team is going under." So finally, they agreed to it. So any team could have had night games that year.
Yeah,
but he's the only one who does it. They do 7 night games, and yes, the attendance for all of those was well. It was a great success.
I mean, you think of
it took 3 years, but
and Joe Morgan and Pete Rose. Why would that team be going on? You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
Those guys had a run in them.
Sparky
for sure.
at the helm, I guess.
Yeah.
It took 3 years after the Reds in 1935.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
It took 3 years after the Reds in 1935 went to the lights that finally another team did it, which was Brooklyn.
What did Johnny Bench think of this?
I don't know.
These are some pretty serious light stacks here, E. How many light bulbs are we talking about?
I don't know, but it did cost $50,000.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know how many light bulbs there were. But it
counts 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What's 9 times 4, Jay?
I have no idea.
I suck at math.
36.
E, what's 9 times 4?
Jay's right. It's 36.
36. Okay. So if you're going 60 miles an hour,
I don't know.
How far are you going to? How many miles can you go in 1 hour?
I do not know.
Yeah.
So it cost $50,000 to put them in. Adjusted for inflation, that's about $850,000 now. But it was definitely worth it. His team was, like I said, flat out going under. And the reason when you ask why was this, I say this is first, it's the first one in Major League Baseball sanctioned. Like I said, there was minor league things here and there, but it was seen as a
gimmicky.
It wasn't seen as
how quickly did the rest of the league react to this?
My question.
Well,
that was my next question.
As I said,
it
took 3 years
for
the next team to
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Listening to you.
Sorry,
okay.
it's all right. But it took 3 years for the next team to finally jump on board. Brooklyn. But after that, dude, it was
the
pretty
Brooklyn
much
who?
game on.
It was on.
I did have that. Brooklyn. Dodgers, I guess, probably.
Wait a
but-
second. I
yeah,
thought
Brooklyn
they played
Dodgers.
in L.A.
You know what I found out? Detroit didn't do it until 1948.
No shit.
And we were
Sons
the
of
last
bitches.
team in the American League to have lights on.
No
I'll be
kidding.
damned.
They had the owner, Briggs or whatever, what Briggs Stadium back then was. He still believed in that whole it should be a day thing. But he just started looking at how much more money other teams were making.
Yeah.
Was it a racism thing? Did he just not like black, like night?
No, they thought it was a purist. It was a baseball purist thing. They thought the games were supposed to be in the daytime because that's when the light would distract it, or this and that.
Baseball has so held itself back by the whole purity thing.
Ugh, I know, right?
God, it could
Yeah.
be such a good sport.
I know. Well, they well they did that. They did that with the one that really bothered me was video replay. Where it's like, it's supposed to have mistakes. It's part of the game.
Everybody loves when the ump gets it wrong.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Oh, really? The guy had a fucking perfect game going. You blew the call by, I don't know, 14 feet, asshole.
Galarraga.
Oh, Galarraga. They wrote a book about it. The ump still cries about that.
It was perfect, James Joyce. You suck.
Game.
It was perfect.
Perfect. You know how hard it is to throw a perfect
There've
game?
been like 5 or 6 of them.
Ever? And I still contend they could. They could.
Dude, it was over.
It was the last play of the game.
Yes.
So you could just go, oh, he was out by a mile. So that technically ended the game. There's no reason to go back and do anything
And
with
then
this.
the dude got the next guy out.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, Armando, where are you today?
I will say,
who was the center fielder we had back then too that made that amazing catch?
Curtis Granderson?
No, it wasn't Granderson.
Oh, okay.
No.
Austin Jackson?
Austin Jackson.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Like in the 8th or 9th inning, made some just
Really?
hauling balls catch and just
Saved it?
and kept that going. Yeah. Yep.
I will
Back to your lights, E.
No, it's fine. Mike's making his stupid jokes, of course, about black people, but
I wasn't. I just didn't know why he waited so long. It was like, what, does he got a problem with night? Does he not like the black sky? What is it?
Well, not the black sky, but there
How
were
many black guys were on the team?
When they first started putting in these lights at local places, local police would not like it. They didn't like it. They would try to shut them down because they thought that having the lights on at night would cause hooligans to hang around because there'd be
ne'er-do-wells.
Ne'er-do-wells.
Ne'er-do-wells were everywhere back then.
Right. So, anyway, I guess that's it.
Galarraga's been out of the league since 12.
What was
I
the
don't blame
freaking
him.
umpire's
Went
name?
to
I'm trying to
China.
remember.
Jim Joyce.
Yes. Okay.
Yep. I actually have that book somewhere written by Joyce and Galarraga about that play.
Yeah, they did. They went around the circuit doing
Yeah.
talks and stuff about
But dude,
how to handle adversity. And
he was bawling in the locker room when Jim Joyce, the ump, got into
cheated
the
that
locker
kid.
room.
Yeah.
You know, it's just he felt awful, as he should. As he
He
should.
was so out. How did he miss that?
Dude, I remember having on my Facebook profile like a frozen image of the ball in the first baseman's mitt, and he's literally 2 or 3 feet from the bag.
Dude, there's been 23 perfect games. What am I talking about? 6 or 7?
Think about how many.
Should be 24.
There's been dozens of Major League Baseball games over the years. To only have
Literally.
to only
I
have
know.
23 perfect games.
know.
I mean,
140 years of Major League Baseball history.
Yeah.
Over 210,000 games played.
See?
There's only been 23 official perfect games.
it should be 24.
No pitcher has thrown more than 1.
Really? That's interesting. Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, that's a
Amazon link, everybody. Please use it. It's on DetroitCast.com. You can't miss it above the fold there. Of course, it doesn't cost you anymore. We're not asking you to really do anything you don't normally do with Amazon. Just simply click through our link so that we get credit for it.
Yeah, I don't know. Help us out.
Help us out a little bit. Also, make sure you're shopping MyPillow.com.
Yes.
Goose down, ruined America. Shopping for
bandit feel.
all of your betting-related needs. They have tons of shit on that website. Use the code TDC for the Detroit Cast.
Mike is
TDC.
gonna love that. They have tons of shit on their site. Tons of shit.
I love when Jay said we've got tons of shit.
Tons of shit. You know, he's the same guy that carried my thing around, and I sold
Around town.
Around town.
Mike Lindell is a big poster thing. He went all around Detroit. It was
I
great.
tell you, that guy just gets it.
I watched him all day on Twitter.
Favorite podcast, he said. I mean,
Yep.
he said that. I
It's
don't know
'cause
what
of
his
Jay.
second and
Dude,
third are.
I'm going to
but-
do another
Jay.
Lindell day around town some
Yeah.
day coming up here in the next couple months.
That was hilarious. It was like, it gave me the idea. I was like, I think people might want to buy these. And he tapped his son to fucking order his son's
Sounds like, no,
dude,
Mike.
who's gonna want a fucking 6 foot tall cardboard?
It's like, I don't
cutout of
know,
you?
just put them up. Put them up at cost.
Well, Jay did. Look how much fun Jay's having. I'm in a tree, for Christ's
He
sake.
sold thousands of them.
I think he's up to 7,000 of those things sold. Hilarious. Absolutely Hilarious.
We do have some email.
Do we? Did you hear? Lastly, this broke literally as we started the show. I just wanted to mention
Morgan
it.
Freeman?
Dude. Well, maybe
Can
I started a little conversation.
Can I see your underwear? Yeah, are you wearing panties?
Can you show me your titties?
Andy, are you wearing panties?
Dude.
What was the speech you're making about
Morgan Freeman, right? The most woke bae out there.
Oh, yes.
Because he was the one with the statue said that they shouldn't have genitals on the
statue.
statue.
Oh, yes. He is a woke bae.
Well, maybe I started a conversation that day.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. The warden, true to his word, let Andy and the boys have a beer up on the roof.
Well, guess what? He's being called to the principal's office now.
Yeah. By like 5 or 6 women, which means we could be talking way more than 5 or 6 chicks.
Former assistants and stuff claiming that he tried to lift their skirts, asked them if they're wearing underwear, touchy-feely kind of got creepy fuck.
Yeah.
You know, just a creepy motherfucker.
He's talking to a chick who's 6 months pregnant, and he's like looking her up and down. Like, imagine being oogled, just like up and down, and he said...
Is it oogled or ogled? Always wondered about that.
I assumed oogled, but
yeah, oogled felt right. But I'll go with what did you say?
Ogled, ogled. Maybe it's ogled.
It's
maybe an ogled.
Maybe.
Boy, this is wow. I've never felt so confused.
Yeah,
I'm pulled in 3 different directions on this.
Yes.
Oogled, ogled, ogled.
Oh, I like ogled. I think it's ogled.
It might be.
Yeah. They chose to avoid the conversation completely, and they just said repeatedly looked her up and down.
Leered.
Yeah, leered is okay. But he's going, while repeatedly looking up and down, saying more than once, I wish I was there. What does that even mean? To a 6-month pregnant woman, I wish I was there. You are ripe. Boy, I wish I was there.
What?
Yeah.
Like it's his declaration, like, yeah, she fucks.
Maybe. I mean, what else could that mean? This other chick says she was like an employee at Revelation, some company he started with someone else. And he looked me up and down and asked her, how do you feel about sexual harassment?
Pro. I mean,
and she's stunned.
Harass away.
She said sarcastically, I love it. Hoping to make light of the situation. There's a bunch of guys around, that work there at the company. He said, you see, guys, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. You ask them. Yeah, it's,
Well, in fairness, he did ask. She said yes.
One chick, he would...
So did Louis.
I know, right? Exactly.
This chick says he would come over to my desk and just stare at her tits. Just sit there and just kind of elbow on the desk and just ogle them titties.
Or ogle them.
If you want, I mean, we can play this
audio. What do we got?
Pull up Here we go. Gotta pull up the computer there.
There we go.
Ogle.
Is that what I said at first? Ogled?
I think we said oogle.
Yeah.
I always thought it was oogle.
I think this is wrong. I think Merriam-Webster's wrong.
Says that,
I'm going to call Merriam-Webster out on this one.
The definition is literally talking about he was trying not to oogle the ladies or something.
Or ogle.
Ogle.
Well,
it's ogle.
What's the one on the right? Is it cajole?
Cajole.
Damn.
What is that?
I could have sworn that was it.
Cajole.
I could have sworn the J was one of those H ones.
Cajole.
There you go.
Cajole. So anyway, the Morgan Freeman story, if you want to read it, there are tons of ripped off stories out there. You can find a couple paragraphs. Go to CNN. They did the reporting on this and talked to women. It's very, very long and extensive. It's not filled with like, oh, he held me down and raped me. So if you're looking for Harbinger Weinstein stories, it's not there.
No, he's just being a creeper.
He's an 80-year-old man. It's just interesting that he's kind of the forefront of the woke bay right now.
Those in glass houses, what do they say about them?
Boy, oh
what do they
boy.
say about them, E? Those in glass houses.
Don't throw the first stone or something about throwing stones.
Not supposed to throw any stones. I don't think it's the first one. I mean, even
first, last, whatever.
Yeah, you don't want to. Don't even go there. Yeah.
Don't throw stones. Hey, if you want to write into the show, send us your thoughts to email@detroitcast.com. Kind of like Matt did.
Oh, boy.
Matt writes in concerning stealing popcorn.
Who steals popcorn?
Because of Eric, I have recently fished large buckets of empty popcorn containers out of the movie theater garbage.
Nice.
If the bucket isn't already very worn, I tear the side a bit. I then go to the concession counter and ask for a refill and a new bucket.
There you go, my man.
All right, not a bad move.
They smile and fulfill my request. Boom! Crime has been committed. My only regret is that I eat the whole thing by myself. Matt.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt.
Movies are fine to go to by yourself, dude. What's the difference?
I don't mind that. Dude, I'm not saying anything about him
Oh, you're
going to the
not.
movie by
His
himself.
brother used to go to the movie by himself.
Oh,
all the
he's saying
time.
that he eats the whole.
Chet was famous
Dude,
for
he
that.
stole the popcorn.
Yeah.
That's my problem with it.
Jay's got a moral issue with thievery.
Oh, no,
That's
but in
the
his
problem.
email, when he said the only problem is I eat it all by myself. I thought I was saying, hey, there's nothing wrong with going to the movie yourself.
There's no huge problem with just eating a big bucket of popcorn by yourself, I suppose. If you're going to steal one,
Yeah.
might as well eat it.
I don't know where I fall on this because it's kind of genius. And if God's looking down on you,
should be
for the
thinking-
first couple of them, he might go, I got to give it up. That's kind of a kick-ass move.
You should be thinking about
Nice
the words you
move.
just said, because you just said genius, and he got this from me. Is the
Exactly.
point? I'm the one who came
He's
up
the
with
one
this.
who invented
I did
this.
not call E a genius.
But you said the idea was
No, because you would just pick buckets out of the garbage and eat it.
No.
No,
I used to have the same one. Even I would put it.
Oh yeah, you would bring your own back.
Yeah, you used to fold up the
Beth would
bag
do
and
that.
everything.
And it was like she'd have this thing in her purse, and it's like, you're really gonna pass that off as like we just ate this in there. This couldn't be more. It looked like someone shrink wrapped or vacuum sealed your bag. This has been
she's
used
like
50 times.
She's written errant phone numbers on it. Used it as a notepad over the years.
The theater's changed ownership over the years. It used to be this cinema, and that's the bag we have. It's now the Magic Johnson Theater, and we're using that. We're not using their bags. Yeah, it was bad. But those
What
kids.
has he done? Can you tell me? Big Magic Johnson. What has he done?
I didn't give him those AIDS. And when he had those AIDS.
And when he had those AIDS, I went to my synagogue and I prayed for him.
I'm going to call bullshit on that, by the way. I don't think that ever happened.
That he went to the synagogue?
Yeah, I don't think he went to the synagogue and prayed for Magic Johnson when Magic Johnson had those AIDS.
I've never thought about it. I don't know Don well enough to cast aspersions and say that this is a lie. I don't know.
If he said, when Lawrence had AIDS, I went to my synagogue and I prayed for Lawrence's AIDS.
I like to help minorities.
I think he really doesn't like Magic Johnson for whatever reason.
I don't know why the girl had me say those things.
Those horrible, hateful things that I don't mean.
I'm the guilty one for uttering those terrible, ugly words
That I don't mean. Lawrence, juice, please, post haste.
He's got AIDS.
Oh, was that not the greatest story of all time when it went on?
Unreal, man.
I could listen to that. He's got AIDS. Just over and over.
He's got AIDS.
And if you remember when he was talking to Anderson Cooper, he cut himself off. He was about to lay into Magic Johnson the AIDS thing, and he cut himself off.
It was like
bigly.
someone was in his ear hole saying, like, that's where he says, which I don't mean.
Well, I always cut off the drop after he's done with Big Magic Johnson. What has he done? He goes on.
What has he done? Can you tell me? Big Magic Johnson. What has he done? He's got AIDS. Did he do any business? Did he help anybody in South L.A.?
Well, I think he has HIV. He doesn't actually have full-blown AIDS.
Well, what kind of a guy goes to every city, has sex with every girl, then he catches HIV? And is that someone we want to respect and tell our kids about? I think he should be ashamed of himself. I think he should go into the background. But what does he do for the black people? Doesn't do anything.
That's awesome, man.
Dude, Bill Burr does a great part on this, and he's like, the most remarkable thing about that story
Has he never used the N-word?
he never once, here's an 80-some-year-old billionaire, and he never once on tape uttered the N-word.
Yeah.
It's crazy
Yeah.
if you think about it.
We'll save the rest for tomorrow.
All right, you sure?
Yeah.
All right, we're not here tomorrow.
Well, then, we must direct the listeners what we're doing. We have Memorial Day coming up.
Oh, that's right.
And so we will have a best of dropping on Memorial Day.
Okay.
And then we will be back in studio on Tuesday, right?
Very good. Yeah, yeah. Have a great Memorial weekend. That's kind of the
Stay safe,
official,
everybody.
Official kickoff of summer.
Yeah, just stay safe.
If you're gonna
Watch out those
drink, do it
barbecues.
responsibly.
Watch out those barbecues, my man.
Hey, Kowalski Quality Meats. Get them on the grill.
There you go. There you go. You guys have a great Memorial weekend.
You too.
It's always fun to be in here. I'm glad I was here today with you guys. It was great fun.
Glad to have you back, Mike.
Yes. Sorry, E, I took your seat, but anyway, have a great weekend. We'll do it again next week. We'll see you guys then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.